More
That all
acronyms.
makes sense now.
Yeah, more acronyms, so, you know, at least a lot of them are in the new updated EOP there. I have the definition of all the acronyms, so.
Really?
Yep.
Do you?
I figured Bob would have some memorized, so.
If ever you can work one into personal conversations,
Yep.
Maybe we got work in.
cat.
Yep. Other than that, budgets are looking good. Darren and I went through all of them yesterday.
So, you know, I sent the, I'm gonna circle back with Darcy and, what should I call it, and Cheryl. We're gonna get your money for the Millstone Fire Department. We said we would cover the cost.
yeah. Yep.
So we're gonna do that, and then, you know, a few other things, but that one I think affects you most.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
doesn't show yet, but it's gonna.
That's all right. It's one of those, as long as at the end of the year, I've come to learn with government budgets, as long as the balance is at the end, you're good.
Well, we don't wanna forget it, so that's. And then how are they doing, how are they moving out on that? Is that, what's the next move to?
The next move is they're gonna let it cure, you know, for the next couple of months. Tim's getting a new updated, bid. Actually, he's getting a couple of them because he's pretty sure, one of the Amish guys that does these, structures will actually come in cheaper than the other one.
Okay,
So, again, and since it is gonna be at that level, we have to have bids anyway, minimum.
yeah,
So they're gonna update all the bids. The original cost we had, the only reason we had that cost was just when we were trying to go for the cold board with it
right.
and then switch gears, so.
Yeah. Well, so now what kind of grant you looking for?
Well, the fire council would like us to try and go for a combination pumper rescue truck for the county. Because if we do that, that will get rid of essentially 3 vehicles that we currently have
Okay,
and combine it into one.
so and that's the cold one that you're thinking?
We're thinking for that because the couple that I have found that is gonna do the mission that we want, we're looking at about $300,000 to $450,000 for that vehicle.
So this building for Millstone is, they're just thinking that that's gonna be capital?
Yeah, and we'll just do that capital lamp through the fire
Gotcha.
council.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because then that way too, we still have to follow building codes, but we don't have to do all the extra studies that the cold board wants.
Right.
that's fine, I think that's probably a good strategy. And then as far as, so they've already poured the concrete, that's what's curing?
I believe that was what they did.
I think so.
Um,
We'll know for sure on Thursday, that's when that fire
Yeah.
council,
Okay.
Timmy will be up, so.
yeah, I feel like they poured it in December there because it was nice and they tarped it and
Okay,
did all
I think
that
that was
stuff.
what the plan was, yeah.
okay, well, okay.
So that's kind of where we're at there.
So when's your pumper truck thing? Isn't that coming up in March or something? When is the next cold board? Are you thinking September is what you're?
I was hoping to get it submitted in March for like their April meeting.
Okay, that's.
Yep. And then, yeah, then September 1 if,
Twice a year.
yep.
Okay, very good.
So that's kind of our plan on that side. Oh, I forgot to mention, road department did deploy the drone yesterday.
Oh.
So Justin Merrill took the trailer out to him, did an in-service training on it, and observed their first flight. So they were able to actually fly and they kind of scoped the damage on a few of the roads that they couldn't get past. So,
Excellent.
so
We're getting some benefit out of that.
yep,
Yeah.
we're getting benefit from it.
We need to hear more of that.
Yep. And then I went really fiscally responsible and I put a cheap Chinese diesel heater in that drone trailer and tested it out when it was 0 and it kept it at about 50 degrees in there. So
I like the cheap Chinese.
Chinese
We don't
diesel.
You got an
care
acronym
about
for
the
that,
cheap
don't you?
Chinese.
Cheap
I mean, but I bought it through an American company, so you know.
I had a guy actually show me one of those. They're pretty incredible. They don't take that much money.
There's nothing to them.
There's nothing to them. It's just a little tiny thing.
Restate that, it's
Yeah.
American marketing.
There you go. Yeah, good marketing.
It's
American
a
marketing,
CCDH. It's a CCDH.
But yeah, it,
POS. Never mind, never mind.
For the record, that,
Yeah. But yeah, so everything seems to be working pretty well, kind of as planned, and it's kind of nice to see the tail end on a few of those projects, and
Yeah,
the fact that that trailer is being pretty,
it's working.
it's
Yeah.
working, yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good little deal.
Oh, the one drone we're talking is probably about this
Good
big
size.
when it's fully out, but
Yeah.
we also got a secondary one.
Small.
Yep. Yep. So,
Pretty snazzy.
you know, they work really well.
When I was talking to Darren Gebhardt, so he has the exact same of the big drone that we have, and I believe it's his company. that
Yep,
he
his
works
company.
for. It's theirs. But when he was out flying, I think it was on Tuesday when it was, obviously it's been windy, but when he was flying back in or whatever, he had about 30% battery or whatever, and he was hauling butt trying to get it back or whatever. And he ended up having to drive to the fairgrounds to go pick it up. Because the wind, because he's flying right into it, just killed it. He said he was literally, it was hovering above the ground for like 2 minutes until he got there. And when he got to it, it was at 2%.
2%.
Yep.
He's like, thank God I got there. I'm like, yep, yeah, that's a costly mistake real quickly when that thing falls, so.
Well, and on the bright side, that's the cool thing about that drone. So that wind was about 35, 40 miles that day.
Oh my goodness.
So the fact that we didn't lose the drone and it's able to actually at least stay there, that's part of the reason why we went with that big one. My little drone, you know, if it's a really windy day, like 25 miles an hour, that is not going up in the air because that thing will
Yeah.
just go.
Where you going?
It'll be gone.
Yeah. 'Cause I think he flew it about 4 miles down the river, so for it to get back that close was pretty good, I guess.
Yeah.
well, and I like the fact you guys are using, I mean, I know this
Oh,
is
yeah.
Darren's, but the more you do that, the more you'll do that. I mean,
Yep.
you'll get proficient at it and you'll see how much it can benefit. You know, I don't think we've even got a taste of the benefits it can.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg of
Yeah.
what we can do. And like I said, it's been deployed on a couple of search and rescues so far. We use it for fire mapping and fire hotspotting, the drone. So Darren is fine flying his own, but when he's doing it under us because he's actually one of our licensed pilots for the fire department.
Oh, really?
Yep. So
Okay.
he's just using his own drone because he's comfortable with it, but under our umbrella. So
Okay.
yep. So it's working out pretty well.
He was saying, I don't know if he has to like download the info or what, because he was recording the whole thing as he's going, he's taking a video. But like, obviously we can still measure how much the river has rise and that kind of thing. But he has some sort of software or whatever that he can go back from video to video to show you exactly how much it's went up in certain areas. And pretty impressive.
And the fact that Darren is allowing us to use his software to do that, that's great because that is not a cheap program that he can use that for. So his backside benefit is he uses it as training hours when he's flying for us, for his company. So it's that wonderful circle of life.
Okay, so there's a mutual,
Yep.
Because
Mutual benefit.
yeah.
what the software, like, they use it for like measuring like gravel pits and things like that.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Same reason like the road department would probably use it for
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, it's interesting, but unless you kind of start using it, that idea doesn't even come to you. It's like, what else can we do with this thing?
Yep. Yep. And I'm pretty sure. So I talked with Tom Coley. He's the fire chief for Red Lodge, and he's on the CAT team, and he was going through a bunch of mapping stuff, and so he did invite Darren and I to go, and he'll kind of teach us the fire side mapping that we have been struggling with. So. Yeah.
Well, excellent. It's
And
kind of
then-
fun to have exciting stuff you can,
Yeah.
technology, at least you guys are geared, you're kind of like that, because it's really powerful.
Yep. I got my gamer here, so.
Yeah.
Got the techies.
Yep. Got the techies. and-
Other than a printer kicked my butt the other day, but you know. That's.
I don't think I'd admit that.
I still don't understand how I couldn't get it to work. So Glenn, his dad had ever bought a printer, we were just at his house, and he came to the office, I set it up real quick for him, sent him home. I get home at the end of the day, he calls me, he's like, hey, it's not working. What do you mean? He's like, it won't connect. I get to his house and it was like, it didn't want to do anything.
Yep.
Couldn't find it on Bluetooth, couldn't get it even when we wired it, like. I was like, well, I think you just bought a hunk of crap, cause
Well,
I would half on it. Like,
and we know he did because he's like, also, what's this piece of plastic for? It was like a plastic catch pin for something. And I'm like, oh god.
Who is this?
His dad.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah. Then Dad calls me and is like, hey, I'm having prayer problems. Hey, call Derek. He's really good at it.
I used to be really good at setting them up. Like when I was in high school, I did job shadowing for Mr. Toombs or whatever. And so like I set up all the computers in the library and all the printers and that. So when he asked me to do that, I'm like, oh yeah, no problem. And instantly I'm like, oh crap. Like, what is this?
Again,
A little
POS.
different. Yeah. A lot different than back in the day. Like you just went online, download the drivers, and you were good to go. Now, not so much. You gotta have an app for everything, and
Yeah, it's
it was a
horrible.
pain in the butt.
There's some companies that are actually going to do, you might own the printer in that, but you have to pay the subscription to unlock it so that you can
What?
print.
You see,
Oh, yeah.
that's what I was thinking,
yeah.
like Hewlett
Yep.
Packard, I'm
Yep.
part of this Inc. Didn't realize, I didn't
Oh,
know
yeah,
I was signing up,
online
so I signed up for this Inc. thing where they monitor my thing and then send me ink, but I have to pay $6.99 a month.
Uh-huh.
But it also affects my queuing,
Yep.
Yep.
so I have to go to my printer through HP.
Yeah.
I can't just do it as a,
Well, that's like
Standalone, yeah.
yeah, we have
Or wait
our
until
office
they-
or whatever.
Don't, until Mac doesn't support our printer. We're holding out.
Right.
Keep using it until Mac doesn't support it anymore.
Like I don't know how it works with your guys' printer up here, but like ours is monitored for obviously the ink level on that, but it monitors how many pages we print or whatever, and that's how they bill us for it.
oh,
Oh.
really?
Yeah, we get billed per page or whatever, like
Yep.
2 cents or whatever it is, but yeah.
Rotten buggers.
Mhm.
So when we print off them map books, it gets costly.
Big Brother's watching.
Big brother is-
Always, like when we first signed up for it, I didn't realize that that's how it went or whatever, and then I got the bill, I'm like, I'm not paying this, like, what do you mean, we own it now, like, why would I have to pay it, but.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Anyway, that was kind of us in a big nutshell. Any questions, thoughts,
No,
directives?
keep being progressive.
And just a reminder, fire council next Thursday, so.
Thursday.
Next
7
Thursday.
o'clock.
Yep.
I did do the bi-weekly meeting for the,
I didn't
and there
either.
wasn't a lot really said. Actually, I just listened, I said, I don't have to.
Did they send you another link for that? Cause I didn't get anything.
Well, it was just part of I got their whole series.
Oh,
See, we just had the initial.
Maybe I'll forward it, but it was kinda interesting. They were talking, they were strategizing on what they're gonna do with this thing in April. And it was
And you're
good.
still going first on Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll circle back with the plans. And I read the plans, I've listed the mitigations, and I thought, well, my whole point is to say, hey, we've had 5 events, here's some highlights, big level highlights like your,
yep.
Mhm.
and by the way, this is what our mitigations are in our current plan. These ones are done, these ones are under study, these ones were, and, but it would be cool, and I don't wanna create a research project for you guys, but to kinda think about how much, my whole point of what I see out of this is, one of the bigger issues is, the more impactful mitigations cost a lot of money.
Yep.
And that's why it's so important to be plugged into these grant things, and maybe you guys can speak more to that and have a better feel for that.
Yep.
And that was kind of my strategy. It's gonna be real brief, but just, by the way, this is what we see we have yet to do, and,
How much time do they have allotted for you?
it's only 15 minutes, so maybe we need less. But I wanted to get a feel for myself, is what does these plans say we're supposed to be doing versus what we're doing? We're actually doing more,
Mhm.
because the plans are kind of generic. But we've got specific projects, things that we've lined out, that
Yep.
we're progressing. And then I'd also kind of like get a feel where Wendy's at with her
Mm.
grant,
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I'm sure Wendy is having so much fun right now since her BLM stuff is obviously froze.
yeah.
So, So she's in a holding pattern for a little bit.
Could be, but the potential of that's pretty big for this county.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know? So, yeah, good stuff, really good stuff.
Alright, cool. Well, we're gonna go back to the dungeon and keep working on.
All right.
Have a good weekend, enjoy it.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Well,
Do you want me to see if Darcy's coming? Would you like me to see if Darcy will be joining?
Yes, please do. It was so bad in here, I was thinking maybe we need to cancel this meeting, everybody's sick, but I think we're,
You're sick.
powering through it.
yeah, everyone's sick now, it's like, what the hell? It's,
Just one of those things, it's gonna happen.
it is gonna happen, there ain't anything to do about it.
Everybody's sick at once, and everybody gets better at once. Kinda like when you had chicken pox as a kid and everybody like, okay, go over and play with them so you get chicken pox too.
There you go. Spread it around.
Spread it around, everybody gets sick at once.
Get it over with.
Get it over with, that's right.
My little sister used to call it chicky pox. I got the chicky pox.
Chicken pops, yeah, it's- my daughter called it chicken pops.
Nope, she's good. She said what we talked about this morning was all she needed.
All right,
That would be
Okay.
lunchtime then.